anything about Adrien Wooly, and it's kind of crazy. He's going to be one of your better players, and I've never heard anybody say anything all day. Can you talk to us about what you've seen with him?
Man, I love AD. Dub. He is. First word to describe him is in Javon. I say this about all the time, but A-Dub's a dog. He's got a grit and a toughness and a competitiveness about him that I love. He is a very gifted scorer, and he can score at all three levels. He scores at the rim, he gets to the line, makes free throws, he can shoot it from distance. He's a good playmaker. Like, he's a very good all-around player with an unbelievable temperament, and has been a leader for us. Not that he's not that vocal, probably one of the least vocal guys on our team, but just the way he goes about his process. And then that same dog mentality is grit defensively. Like, he loves to pick up and turn guys into backcourt, and just a tough dude. I love A-Dub.
You guys got paired with SMU as kind of like your rival moving forward. I spoke with Andy just a little bit earlier. He kind of mentioned that you all were both in this conference as assistant coaches at the same time, cutting your teeth. Him at Florida State, you at Wake Forest. When you think about what his teams, maybe scouting them last year, what are kind of the staples of the team that he coaches, and what can you look forward to in having kind of that rivalry?
Yeah, Andy is a brilliant basketball mind. I really mean that. Getting to know him back in the day when he was at Florida State and I was at Wake Forest and we're coming up, I don't know if you guys know this too, like he ask him, and this is off topic, he was an NBA shooting coach. Like, literally, I'm gonna mess this up, I think he made like 700 free throws in a row. Something crazy like that. Now, I'm not talking about in games, but like, it might, and if it's 400, I'm sorry. If it's 200, I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure it was some like crazy number. But anyway, really good coach. Last year, they were a bear to prepare for. Played them at their place. Very talented guys. Runs a very modern offense. Had a very explosive point guard and has him back in Boopy Miller. And they've added really, really good pieces as well. So we play them twice, right?
Yeah. That's the pairing for now until I guess they decide to change it.
Yeah. I'd rather not play them twice, but we play them twice. I think Andy's a really good coach. He can really recruit, and they run hard stuff.
Yeah. With Michael, Javon earlier was kind of asked, what gives him confidence that he's going to be able to handle being a point guard at this level as a freshman, and he pointed to his family, just kind of being that constant presence for him and his dad, pushing him. Have you dealt with many players who have kind of like a family member, like kind of serving as like a coach, like in their own way, like with just how much he's kind of prepared Michael to get to this stage?
Yeah, I mean, we all, whether even through my playing career, there are people in our lives that were the wind at our back and were the reason that we became the player we were. For some kids, it's a parent. For some kids, it's a trainer. For some kids, it's their high school coach. For some, it's different people. With Michael in particular, his dad's a world-class basketball trainer, like really good, as good as there is out there. And who Michael's become as a person and as a player is the family structure in the background. And that same could be said for everybody on our team. If you ask them who was that one person, and without blinking an eye, they would all tell you this is the person. We all know, at least for me, the person that believed in me even more than I believed in myself was my father. And I think Michael gets that type of support and belief and love from his dad, from his mom and dad. It's the reason he's turned out the way he has.
How do you establish the culture from the jump with so many new players, 7 on your roster this year?
Yeah, that's so important in today's day and age, more important than ever, because rosters anymore are not typically, it'll be the exception more than the norm, where you just return a bunch of guys every single year. So it's going to be, when you add people out of the transfer portal, you bring in freshmen, you retain some players, it's your ability to do that, and it's easier said than done. For us, It starts moment one, second one, when the guys get together. That's June 5th. That's the first day they all arrive to campus for summer school. And everybody has their process for establishing culture and creating chemistry. You know, our thing is to talk about love on day one, on second one, you know, and for 18, 19, 20-year-old guys, like all of a sudden, oh, man, that seems a little corny. No. Like, if we're going to be special, we say you have to love the guy next to you and work at a level where your biggest motivation is not letting the guy next to you down versus your individual goals and aspirations. I want guys to have individual goals and aspirations. I want self-starters. I want guys that want to achieve individual personal things, but the power of the unit is what we talk about as the most powerful thing.
Coach,
you guys have heard me talk about that many times, but I talk about it passionately because it's the secret sauce.
what's been your approach defensively with this team? That's a huge thing for you guys. And is it the same, basically continuing the same of what you've done, or how much did you rethink defense?
You're tweaking all the time based on personnel. I think any good coach, when they see when they put a team together and they see the strengths and the things they do really well and they don't really well, you're always going to tweak. I mean, we're always going to be, you know, a bow your neck, grit your teeth, gritty, tough man-to-man team, but we'll add some variations that I don't want to tell you about,
Not
give away all our
Bayheimer.
secrets.
You're not
but
Bayheim or anything yet. Michael, how important is patience for him and just everything? We know, everybody knows he can play, but just to be patient and do what you can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just for Michael, it's for every single player in our roster, and it's for us as a whole. It's just understanding, you know, focusing today on what's right in front of us and growing daily and knowing there's going to be ups and downs. Obviously, we have big expectations that have been placed on us. Michael, obviously, is a player. There's a lot of players that have huge expectations. And it can't be about pleasing you, no offense, or to that person or to that fan, or because that's going to come and go. There's going to be ups and downs, but it's working with excellence every day, dealing with the ups and downs with blinders on and knowing every player, you're going to play well some days, you're not going to play well someday. The collective unit, the depth that we have is going to allow certain guys to have big games one night and other guys to have big games the other nights. And the fact that guys are willing to allow that to happen and that to be our strength is one of the reasons we have a chance to be really good.
You brought in some elite three-point shooters this past offseason. How do you balance letting them kind of do their thing, but also not making them be one-dimensional?
Yeah, no, definitely don't want to be one-dimensional. The last thing, we really don't even talk about shooting threes. Like, we don't have a target number of threes we're trying to get up. I like shooting threes. I said upstairs in a couple other interviews, people ask me why you shoot so many threes, and I said because they don't let me shoot fours. But, you know, it starts, threes present themselves if you play aggressively and you play on the attack, because you're going to generate free throws, put foul pressure on the defense. You're going to generate shots at the rim, which are very high percentage and very efficient in terms of points per shot. And then by playing on the attack and getting paint touches, it opens up the three-point shot through kickouts and things like that. So we have dangerous shooters, but because they're dangerous, they obviously draw gravity toward the outside, which should open up us being able to attack the paint as well.
Javon said he's improved his three-point shooting a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
he shot it well last year.
Jody, he keeps going like that.
Yeah.
You go back and look at, you know, back at Northeastern, and then you look at first year at Colorado, and then second year at Colorado, then last year at Louisville. And, you know, a big part of that is, obviously, the kid works. He is a maniacal basketball worker, one of those guys you got to get out of the gym so the diminishing returns don't come into play. But the other part is, man, like, pouring confidence into him, you know, and I think he would tell you that. Like, getting his three-point rate up was a goal for last season. It'll be the same thing this year. Percentage, yes, right? But getting his rate up as well, which is your overall field goal attempts per three-point attempt. Your overall field goal attempts per three-point attempts per field goal attempt, I'm so sorry. And getting that up a little bit higher as well. But he's shooting it well, he's shooting it with confidence, and that's a big advantage for our team.
When you have such a deep team, do you guys have, you know, more conversations about just how quickly you want to get up and down the court? Obviously, you spoke a lot last year about how the depth kind of changed how quickly you want to run.
Yeah.
Do you kind of talk about now, hey, like, we want a possession to be kind of in this sweet spot between X amount of seconds, or just kind of how
Yeah.
does that go about your planning?
No,
your tempo
that's a
this
good
year?
question. But even last year when we said we had to change how we play, it's not that we like slowed the
Right,
game down,
no.
but it did affect some things because our rotation was really, really short. We don't talk about like, Mike D'Antoni, the great basketball genius savant with the Phoenix Suns
Yeah.
back in the day. His thing was 7 seconds or less.
Yeah.
That's not us. We hunt great, right? And great for us, we define what those great shots are, which I talked about before, and when they come, if it's in the first 3 seconds, first 5 seconds. But if we can generate great, that's when we want it. But to answer your question, yes, I think with that depth, the pace with which we play, the ferocity with which we play defense, the aggressiveness with which we crash the glass, should be able to be even at a higher level because we can play more guys and keep
Yeah.
bodies fresh.
And you mentioned last year, like Cass was like running spreadsheets to try to figure out how to get like Chucky like an extra break around like a certain point of the half. I'm just wondering now that you kind of have a like this deep of a roster, like how many different spreadsheets is he whipping out to try to figure out how to get these like minute shares all together, like trying to time it out.
Yeah, you know how Cass is. Like,
Right.
Coaches back in the day, like if you looked up the dictionary what a coach is, they would wear those bike shorts with the 2 buttons at the top and the tight polo.
Yeah.
Like you look up Cass is the coach in the dictionary, and he's got like a lab coat on with a clipboard. Cass is like the mad scientist. So I'm sure he's got spreadsheets upon spreadsheets. Like he brings them into me, and I'm like, hey man, let's just play hard. You know what I mean? But no, like we're working through all those things, and then throughout the preseason and practice and the summer, roles have slowly been defined, and then obviously those will change throughout the season. But yeah, we have a method to the madness.
Coach Kelsey, Coach Ellis, Primetime Scouting,
Coach.
Partner with the Sports Shop, recent came at. What's one of the toughest things you've had to endure being a college basketball coach?
Well, toughest thing to endure. I mean, it's like I'm beyond blessed. I say that all the time. Like I get to coach basketball for a living. I'm not going to go into all that. You guys are sick of me, and Lisa doesn't want me to talk about how hot she is and stuff. I still get yelled at for that. She always said, "Leave me alone. Like keep me out of this." Like she hates to be. But anyway, I digress a little bit. I wouldn't say a tough thing, but a challenge is. There's no such thing as balance. There is none. There's no balance. You can't the great thing about what we do in our family, and Josh Hurd allows it, is your family life and your professional life is kind of like all blends together, and it's one and the same. You guys have been in practice, and you see my son Johnny at practice all the time, and Josh lets him leave Holy Trinity School and come right to the practice facility and have 20 big brothers that teach him a bunch of bad words and crap like that. But I'm pretty blessed. So I wouldn't say a difficult part of it, but in coaching you move around a lot, you pull kids out of schools and things like that. When you end up in a phenomenal community like the city of Louisville that embraces their own, you realize how blessed you are.
My son, El Ellis, played in Louisville 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Where were you when I need you?
Tell him I said hello.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.